Thank you for joining us for this special presentation of the award-winning documentary film, Love Them First, Lessons from Lucy Laney Elementary. This film began as a Carol Evans series, highlighting a prolific educator who was making a difference in her community. Please enjoy this special presentation with a discussion to follow, featuring some of the people you're about to meet.
We are trying to undo history. We are trying to prove people wrong. Show me an almost all black, almost all poverty school that has done this. For the last, 18 years, we've been on the list. A turnaround school. A grade F school, a red school, whatever you want to call it. Those labels are real. If you question your ability, you have 3 days to get over it. Because I bleed this school, and there is no way I would have you here if I did not think you could do it. If you have any doubt in your mind, this is not for the faint of heart. And whatever you need to do, if you need to pray, if you need to go to happy hour today and get it all out of your system, whatever you need to do, do it. Because when these kids walk in the door on Monday, I need you to be the greatest.
It's a different feeling over here, you know.
All right.
It's not the same as everywhere else, and I just love it. This is where I belong. Like, these are my people right here.
Back to school. We're from Lucy Laney. What's going on?
Oh, that's Brandon.
Hey, come on out here, boy. Hey.
Awesome love.
Mom,
Oh, good to see you, man.
we want to let you know that we have our open house on Friday.
Okay.
And so school starts on Monday. You know that? All right. You can meet your teacher, okay?
The only thing you see on the news about North Minneapolis is somebody got shot.
These kids have seen more than enough. They see more than they should, so this is ridiculous.
Back to school.
Lucy Laney.
What up, boy? Ah! Hey!
You back in action.
We are having a back-to-school open house, all right? So tell mom and dad if you need clothes and shoes, $1, all right? That's all you need to bring, okay? You ready?
Hey.
5th grade?
When I say Lucy, you say Laney. You ready?
Yes.
All right, you gonna be loud?
No. My parents are sleeping.
Lucy!
Lucy.
All right, I'll see you later, man. All right, boy. Thank you.
Summer just went by so quick.
It looks great. Yeah. You nervous?
A little bit.
Isn't it awesome? It's such an explosion of happiness.
There are people who have little to no hope for public education, little to no hope for children of color, period. And definitely little to no hope for North Minneapolis and children in North Minneapolis. And some of them have very valid reasons to be hopeless. But I choose hope. I choose to believe. I choose to. And even if I'm proven wrong, I will go down believing. Welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Good morning, happy first day of school, everybody. Did you miss me? Kind of a little bit. Welcome to Lucy Laney. See all these people excited to see you. Black girls rock. Okay, Kanaya. I see you, Kanaya.
Happy first day of school.
Welcome back.
Welcome to school.
There is a level of investment that comes at a cost, because when you choose to press into that, you do get great outcomes from kids. You do. But you also choose to press into the pain.
Hey, little buddy.
And for some people, it's too much. But it's worth the cost, because the return on your investment is pretty powerful.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!
Welcome back.
Students and staff, we are so happy and excited to have you back. I hope that you enjoyed the energy in the bus lane this morning. Remember, have a wonderful day here at Lucy Craft Laney at Cleveland Park Community School, where all of our staff and students are hands down by far the brightest, the most intelligent, and
Definitely the best looking in all of North Minneapolis. You are worth the cost.
Why do I gotta go first?
You seemed ready to me.
I like Lucy Laney, and all about it is this beautiful. I can see my face now.
Give me a pose.
I was always alone in second grade. No one liked to be. At this school, it makes me feel special, cool, and that I could fit in. And if you need some supporting when you're having a hard time at your house, the counselors, you can talk to them and you can really bring out your feelings and they will listen. My favorite teacher is Miss Lemmy, because when I hug her, she always calls me chocolate cheeks. Like on Sunday, I take a shower, I go to sleep, and then I wake up, I'll be like, time to go to school. My teacher told me that I'm a good math person, and then she told me when I grow up, I could be a math teacher. Nobody never told me that, so it made me feel good. Like the outside, it is a little like messy, and it's not like a super good neighborhood, but the school is the best part of the neighborhood. There might be other bad people, but this is where all the good people go. That's what makes this place really special, because as you look around you, you realize that this, even though there's lots of dangerous things over like by this area, a lot of students still like to call this place home, and I am one of them. I'm proud to be one of them, actually.
I hate that letter. I hate it so much. It's so embarrassing.
Welcome to our school.
Welcome to our school. We suck, And even though, you know, the school year has started or is about to start, you know, you can leave if you want. Like, it's so humiliating. It's so shaming. And I don't, like, theoretically disagree. I understand.
No Child Left Behind started. There was always designations. Ever since Lucy Laney started, we've always been the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, whatever the designation is.
We're not going anywhere until we get off this stupid list. You have to mail a letter home to your families that basically acknowledges and admits that your school is failing.
You may not use your cell phone or any other devices during testing or after you have finished.
So day 3, y'all. If you gotta finish strong, you need to focus. 3 breaths, please. Take your time. You need to finish.
Parents have the right to know, and the public has the right to know, but one thing that I think we've always been really upfront about is it's based on one test, one time of the year.
You must close everything that is open on your testing device.
It is a test that a lot of us feel is very implicitly and explicitly biased and written and administered in a way that very much fits the profile of a white Minnesotan student.
Next word is erupt. Erupt. It's a verb. It means to burst, explode.
The institution of education has been very unloving to many of our children.
Page 18.
It's been unforgiving. It's been harsh. It's been cruel at times. And so we have to switch it.
I think we can be like a beacon of light.
I'm making your own S sound. Oh, there you go.
I've asked for years, okay, you want us to turn this school around?
As in apple.
Show me another school that has turned around, that has not been charterized, that has not been taken over, that has not had its union broken, that has not had some sort of other gimmick. Show me. I have yet to find one. So we will be the one.
You should be crisscross applesauce. Eyes on me. Our school's name is Lucy Craft Laney at Cleveland Park Community School. Why name a school after her? She was amazingly persistent. She did not give up.
She had in mind to build a school for kids who don't get learning because, you know, back then, black was bad, white was good, you know, bleh. I think that was harsh. And considering I'm mixed with black and white, I find that really racist and really hard for a lot of people, you know?
A lot of people told her that she could not do it. You're a woman of color, you cannot start your own school. And even though she was told no, and even though the odds looked very bad, she was strong in mind and body. And she refused to give up. And that's what we do here at 3333 Penn Avenue North. We are strong in mind and body. We persevere and we push through. Good morning, Laney family. This is Mrs. Freese Laban, still getting to know my new last name. I will still answer to Miss Melander. It is a beautiful fall day out this morning. It's 51 degrees. We have an anticipated high of 65 with sunny skies. And then on the lunch menu for today, this last school day of September, we have garlic cheese bread, or you can get a cold cut combo sub instead. Have a wonderful day here at Lucy Craft Laney at Cleveland Park Community School, where all of our staff and students are hands down by far the brightest, the most intelligent, and definitely the best looking in all of North Minneapolis and beyond. You are worth the cost. We have a liquor store really close to our school. In what parts of society is that okay? And in what parts of society would that never be okay? All that soil out there that's just toxic. That's toxic on purpose, I would argue. We're gonna create fertile soil right here. Like, we're just gonna put like a little bubble over this, and we're just gonna water and fertilize this ground so that you come here and you just grow and you thrive. But the bottom line is, all that toxic soil is still on them. And they still are gonna bring it in. And that's real, whether people want to acknowledge it or not. It's real.
Hallelujah. If we have to walk these streets forever, we ask God that you stop the violence, even now in the name of Jesus, Lord. We cannot make it without you, Lord. Hallelujah. We would fail, oh God, without you.
3 people were shot last night, including a 4-year-old boy.
Violent crisis in North Minneapolis. An urgent call.
The Northside community does not have to be known as the place where people get shot down and killed and murdered. It can always and will be known as a family, because just like every other family, we can be dysfunctional. All right. Who was here last year for City Council? Please raise your hand.
I call her Queen of the School. I think she has a different title, some student council fancy title, but she's the Queen of the School.
We don't have the money for that. So instead, popcorn.
She doesn't abuse her power, but she has an authority.
And appreciate your love for us.
Sophia is going to make a great lawyer. She's going to make a great something.
She has a special magic. And it's an insight, it's a her magic.
Sorry to interrupt. We're the Student Council Donut Patrol, wondering if any of the teachers want some donuts. We only have 3 chocolate donuts.
Give me some coffee.
And she is so busy putting on the perfect face for everyone.
We have coffee over here.
Thank you for doing that.
Delicious.
So that no one else around her hurts. She does not get a chance to be angry and sad and mad and all of those things that a child of her age should be for everything that she's gone through.
We also do IOUs.
You do IOUs?
How many maples do you want?
It's an over sense of security that's compensating for a deep sense of insecurity. And that is something that I see in her, that I recognize, that I had in myself and still do. This is a very emotional place for me. These were the corners I stood on to catch the bus. I started kindergarten when I was 4 years old. My mom is white, my dad is black. My mom, she's originally from northern Minnesota. My dad is African American from New Jersey. My mom made a last-minute decision to take me and try to raise me for herself. And so I think one thing that I would want to say, or preface anything else I say about my story, is that no matter the pain, I will always be thankful to my mom for keeping me. Now, the things that happened after that, they made me who I am today. But there were years that I could not drive through this neighborhood.
to think that what they allowed or what they did to children in that house, and me being one of those children, is still a difficult pill for me to swallow to this day. Do you know who I was most angry with was God? That's who I was most angry with. Because to me, my mom did not have the capacity, even I knew, she didn't have the capacity to change my circumstances, but I always thought he did. Anyone would expect someone like me who went through that to be broken, unhealable, damaged goods that will never overcome, never survive, and definitely never be successful.
Everybody say hi, first grade.
And so I feel like every morning when I stand in front of the kids, I am laughing in the face of that.
Everybody say hi, second grade.
She makes this school like the best school in the world. This is like my favorite school that I've ever been to. I've been to a lot of schools.
She pretends to be every kid in the school's mother. She protects the school really good.
Yep, she is nice and she's kind. Every day, she's nice and kind.
So when I got the assignment for Lucy Laney, I was like, wow, God. I mean, of all the places in North Minneapolis that I could be, why would you have me, a stone's throw away from some of the most difficult childhood experiences? But I also know that that was very purposeful. It's not a coincidence. Good morning. Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great day.
It's a two-way street. I'm not just pouring in to everyone else. I'm not just filling everybody's love bucket. Like they're filling mine.
How was lunch?
You can be in the lunchroom for 5 minutes and it's, Miss Melander, come and hug me. Taste my mashed potatoes.
How are you today? I wish when I was little we had turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy.
I wish I would be just like you.
You do? I wish I would be just like you. How about we switch one day? You be me and I'll be you. Do you want to? I don't even know that I should have been able to have children. I have 2 beautiful daughters. I have a husband who loves me and treats me really, really well. Anytime anybody sees a child, right? A child that looks forlorn, lost, not taken care of, spread your arms, scoop them up, ask questions later, but love them first. Like that was not the end of my story. It was not this happened, therefore. It was this happened, therefore.
She greets us every morning, says, how are you doing? What was your weekend like?
Good morning.
I love that because there's someone in the world that really cares about people like us, even though because we're North Side and people might think that we're just bad and stuff, and we don't know what we're doing. We're not smart. We're not intelligent. But other people who thinks inside like Miss Melander really loves us. She knows what kind of kids we are.
You guys are so cute today. Look at you. Good morning. Look at those glasses. how beautiful you are. You are so ready for picture day.
Picture day smiles ready. Showing them off in 3, 2, 1. Show it. Oh, yes. and pose, and break.
Oh, picture day smile.
Oh my goodness, where'd your teeth go?
There, where's your big smile like this?
Good job.
This is our first year without uniform, so the kids are really taking advantage of being able to be themselves.
Is that a microphone? Is it on? Hey!
Big dresses, hair pent up, some natural curls. The guys, they're wearing suits, have bow ties on and vests. There was some twists. There was some French braids, some barrettes, some beads.
Oh, one second, can I fix it just a little? Is that okay?
The kids are able to come in and just show off who they are on a higher level.
Come on, girl, come on. Get it, girl, get it.
Come on, man. Take your hands out your pockets. Let me see that corduroy JCPenney smile.
Look at that smile.
Woo! Let's see those pearly whites. Big smile. Big smile. Come on, Jamarion. There it is. There it is. All right.
A lot of people don't like what I wear because they think it's over creative. I like who I am. I don't care what other people think about me. Of course, I was born. A beautiful snowy day. On February 1st, 2007, a Thursday. Michael Eugene Lee had come into the world, dawning as my baby brother. 3 years after Mikey was born, cute little baby Malik came into the world. Very cute. So everybody can know, our mom was doing drugs, which did not help our situation. Our dad is also gone. He had an alcohol addiction. But to me, he was the one I had to worry less about. She's gotten arrested and taken to jail 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. She stays in jail longer than I can imagine.
When her mom was going through whatever she was going through, Sophia would be sitting on the stairs in front of her house, reading a book. You know, out of all the things she could possibly get into, she got a book.
I'm Carol Rodakowski. I am 83 years old, and I have been foster mom to my 3 great-grandchildren.
So, we moved to our great-grandma's house, but we are without our mom.
I couldn't imagine them just going into the system and being put wherever, and maybe they wouldn't be together. I love them, and they love me.
It's about this point where I finally realized my mom's not here, and I became like the mom because our great-grandma needed help with them sometimes, so I was there.
I knew it would never be because of my age. So they were on the adoption registry quite soon after they came here.
I knew we were going to get adopted. I got told early on, and I was upset.
What I see and recognize in Sophia is that child's need to
need you to come back. My mom could be gone for months. I was not angry at all. And so what I imagine Sophia
Hi, Miss Dory. Would you like coffee?
is battling is how do I accept that my mother is not coming for me and that I can't wait for her any longer. We're still at the shelter.
Yeah. You're having some tough times, man, but it's okay.
Look at me. Move your head.
So she can see your eyes.
Look at me. You have a lot to be angry about. You have a lot to be angry about, okay? With your mom, your brother, your sister, you have a lot to be angry about, okay? I'm not mad at you for being angry. Look at me. I'm not mad at you for being angry, okay? Mr. McDonald's not gonna be mad at you for being angry. But how you take your anger out is what we gotta figure out, okay? Because you can't take that anger out on the bus driver, on the kids. We gotta find a better way for you to get your anger out, get your frustration out, okay?
As soon as you come to school, get your breakfast, go to my office, go hit the punching bag, and then we're gonna start our day, okay? Let's get our breakfast, go to my office. Go put them gloves on. Be rough with the bag. The bag is okay with it. The bag wants you to be rough with it. I do that just so you can get the frustration out. Your left hand or right hand?
Right hand.
So switch your feet. Hit the bag as hard as you can. I know as a kid what I wanted, what I needed, what I appreciated. And I see some of the things that our kids go through. So I try to put that hat back on as I was a kid, knowing what I wanted, what I needed. I'm the king, thank you. I just got my crown on today, that's all. How you doing? You all right? I'm from the streets. I mean, I'm honest truth. I've been there. I've been there, no water. I've been there, no food. Mom on drugs. The shootouts. So I kind of know what some of our kids go through. No recess. Because y'all was running out of class, right? Just give us a little respect. I want you to be the smartest kid. If you're out of school, you're not gonna be the smartest kid. You can't do that. You know why, right? You're gonna have a lot of people saying they don't like something about you. I don't like your boots, I don't like your shoes. So what? Do you like it? That's for anything. Your shoes, your socks, your shirt, your haircut, your skin color. I like it, and that's what counts. All right? I don't like sending kids home. I try not to. I try to do everything I can, but some situations it has to be that way sometimes. You cannot do that. Can't allow you to scratch my teachers, none of that. You okay? Everybody, we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's what we do after. But what you did was a no-no. One of my top no-nos. You want to pull as many kids as possible on this side of the fence that can see the light and that can see the light.
There is a storm everywhere around you, and you are firm because you have to be for those children. Right, because so then the girl got up and went over to her and hit her in her face. We are devastated.
Mr. McDonald, do you copy?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in my office. I apologize. I'm on the phone with a parent.
And then I just got mad and I just kept hitting her with the carpet.
I think of the years when we had multiple children that were just kind of losing it all through the day.
That was a prank.
Whether it was a prank or not, is this you right here?
Yeah.
Okay, go have a seat. What would make you do this to her?
It was both of them that was pushing me. I'm not lying.
Don't play with me.
She lying.
Just day in and day out, to stay consistent, to stay predictable, to stay firm. Yes, black and brown skinned children are disproportionately disciplined, but they're also disproportionately everything. They're disproportionately in child protection services. They're disproportionately poor. Like, we're not talking about just an island here. We're talking about an entire population of children in our country. They are experiencing the worst of everything.
You want to build that muscle.
My room is C110. Any kid that steps through there is my kid.
Now, as we get closer to first grade, things are going to be challenging, right? Because Tyrell is doing first grade work.
It does get tough because when you look at them, they're just 5. And they've been through so much in their life at 5. Whatever they're dealing with, you kind of take it upon yourself as well. He just took his hand and smacked me across the face.
Okay, so he slapped you across your face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know he's only 5, but that's still effed up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I told you I wanted you to ride him out and ride this out, but where are you at with that?
Like literally I said, why did you hit me? I want to be with you. But when you hit me, that doesn't tell me that you want to be with me. I mean, what happened today was exactly what I didn't want to happen, where he spent the whole day away from the classroom.
I know.
You punch, I count. Okay? Ready? Punch. Punch. Hard as you can. Go. 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 Now you're going to do 1, 2. Stop. 19, 20. Push-ups. You see me a little tired? You tired?
Yeah.
Stand up. Come on. Come this way now.
This is his 3rd day with me. The first day we brought him home because his aggression was way more than we were willing to handle at that time. So we brought him home. You can see that he needs to be here. If you keep sending him home, we're not solving any of the problems. The problem is he has no idea what school is like. He's only in kindergarten, so the only thing he thinks what school is that I'm by myself in this room with somebody else.
How you feel?
Better.
You feel better? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. You gotta try harder next time. Did you apologize? Why not?
I was scared. I like to give her a picture.
You gonna give her a picture? All right.
And then I go tell her.
Here's our chance. This literally right now for him is a moment in time. This is one path or another. He won't get another one.
Hey, get your food and come sit over here, okay?
Our mission with him is going to include his mother.
She had to go back.
He wants to be here. He wants to be in the classroom. So let's grab that and let's use it and manipulate it for all we can. And you being here with him in the morning is going to make a difference. Because look at what a great day he had yesterday. So don't just drop him off tomorrow, but come in and sit with him for a while, okay? Because he's really smart.
And what does this say?
LaShawn.
Okay.
Now LaShawn's gonna practice writing it. You have to let me be your kindergarten teacher. Is that a deal? So you need to come to kindergarten so you can learn your letters of your name. I will see you when you come back. Okay? All right. All right.
Literally, this could be that kid that we talk about years from now, that we're like, whoa, right? Here was his pattern. We saw that it's almost like a bleeding, gaping, open, hemorrhaging wound, and we applied pressure, and we didn't let go, and complete healing. Or this could just be another statistic, where we're just another blip in the screen, another school on the record, before he's off to his next school. Is she gonna be okay?
Yes, I'm gonna be okay. I don't think any of my students died, so that makes it more okay for them.
Put yourself in Ms. Carr's position. What are you willing to sacrifice? How important is it for you to maintain your pride when a 5-year-old slaps you across your face versus potentially be the difference maker or the change in his life? And that's what I think people don't quite understand. We had many LaShawns.
You've been changing the culture of the school. You got it, and you turned it into your own. I remember coming back when you had the welcome day for the kids. Do you still do that? I remember standing there thinking, oh boy, this is transformed because it's your program now. So much research now about what trauma and stress do to kids, but the school district was blind to that research.
Take a deep breath. Why are you crying?
On the bench.
Lunch, you have to sit on the bench? Okay. Do your consequence and it'll be all done and over with.
Privileged children know how to do school because they felt safe all their lives. And vulnerable children often don't know how to do school because they've been frightened.
Ready? There you go. Do what you need to do. Hold it. Good. Let's do the F a little bit more. All right, that's good for now.
Systems have a way of defeating creative leaders.
Bucket back over here.
She figured out how to do it. I mean, nobody's going to mess with Mari.
I will walk the coals first, and you will see me. And then I can ask you to walk over hot coals for me. There are staff here that I have fought for. I have talked to people's spouses.
She did not have to give me a chance at all. But that's the thing about Mari. She loves to take chances, you know.
I have so much faith in her vision. If Ms. Friesleiben said jump off a cliff, I would.
The leadership here cares as deeply about the kids as the teachers do. And it is obvious that they do here, and that makes it really easy to work hard.
Really good teachers, part of what makes them so good is they take everything personally. So that's why when their students succeed, they feel great. And when their students fail, they're devastated.
A kid will say, this work is hard, and the other kids will say, good, and that's something that I've taught them. Like, it's good when we have hard work, you're learning something, and that just makes my heart smile so big because it's like, yes, they're getting it. I got 2 kids at home, but these are my kids. These are my kids. They're mine.
Yeah, I get called mom like 1,000 times a day.
The influence that teachers have on students extends farther than we can ever tell.
I teach
for the outcome.
That's why I teach them. I like to see that growth. When they're like, oh my gosh, I really got this. It's so amazing. It is.
Teaching a lesson, the moment that they get it and the way they faces light up and the way you feel because they got it, like, man, that is the most amazing feeling that, like, yeah, that's why I teach. For that moment right there is why I teach. That moment.
There are some children in our society that are going to be okay. They could have a subpar teacher and they would still be okay. And then there are some children in our society, they cannot afford a subpar teacher. They have no room to give, none. Every single second that they are in school matters. That's why I don't look away from anything. I don't look sideways from anything. My students can take no chances.
State your first, middle, and last name, please.
Nishaya Lavea.
And how old are you?
11.
Raindrop.
Cat. Ice Cube. Daisy. Bam. I won.
You only won 2 times.
And you only won 3 times, so.
And who's interviewing you right now?
My principal.
Oh, okay. And do you think that you could be a principal one day?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm bad.
That is not true.
You said.
That is not true.
He made this too. He made this too. You can take it, you can take it, you can take it. Yeah, it does go up there. That's where we're going to put our baby. It goes in here.
Taco stuff.
No, it's spoiled. Smell it. A lot of teachers started helping my mom look for another place to live. There's a little like messed up parts with the house, but my mom still took it because, well, she said she might move out at the end of the month if he doesn't fix all the stuff that's wrong in the house. And she said he's like a slumber or something like that.
Flying teddy bear. It's better than nothing, better than sleeping in a car or worrying about where you're gonna sleep at. The kids like it, they don't care. As long as they got a bed to sleep in, a room to be in, toys to play with, food in their mouth, they can care less. I don't believe in getting rid of kids, so God gave them to me, so I have to deal with them. If he didn't think I could handle this many kids, he wouldn't have gave me 7 kids.
I feel like we judge children based on what we imagine their parents are or are not. And I feel like especially children of color, especially children in poverty.
Look it. Say hi.
What I don't want people to do is say, why'd you have 7 kids? They're children. They're pure. Now, in this moment, you have this window of time. And imagine if we as a society loved them first in that moment. If we just took a snapshot and we just snatched them up and we just loved them right there.
This film, go to lovethemfirst.com. We now return you to the program.
kids look forward to playing in the staff and doing a basketball game.
You know, the women's games, you tend to see some sharing of the ball.
We're trying to take the lead. Over to Miss Carr.
The male staff come out and act just like the children. The only difference is size.
You better get out the way. An elbow might fly. Hey, that's how we do it here at Lucy Laney.
Mr. Johnson just shoulder checked a 4th grader.
Me, in the school, the most athletic, dominant force Lucy Laney has seen in quite some time.
Mr. Davis is a ball hogger. They do not like to share the ball.
Mr. Davis with the fancy footwork, no good. Maybe keep it simple.
Mr. Davis, he will be the LeBron James crybaby of today.
No basket.
At 6 feet and some change, swat balls out of 9-year-olds' hands.
Mr. Davis!
And their egos, you know, they can barely fit through the door. They hear their names called, you know. I mean, you can see like the regression. They are 17 all over again with the cheerleaders on the sidelines. I mean, they're checking around to see who's watching them. It's pretty pathetic.
Grown men having flashbacks to high school all over again. Mr. Luckett to Rasheed. Mr. Johnson.
Me and my little brothers are getting adopted. We don't know by who yet, but I kind of like it to hurry because, you know, I want to find out and I want to be ready. But nope, it hasn't happened yet.
Sophia snuggled up to me one morning and was like, I really want you to adopt us. And I was like, gosh. Because I would just in a second, I would take him.
If you want to talk about resiliency, if you want to talk about what Laney does well, talk about that family. So the children attack to me. I mean, tell Sophia you can't take her home.
The idea of having them as my own was something that I thought very seriously about. Putting myself in that spot, a fear around breaking them up, a fear around them being with people who don't love them, going to a family that would take them away from Lucy Laney is something that causes a lot of anxiety.
You just gotta let time take its course. Because who wants to adopt 3 kids? That'd be really hard. So.
You can set down your materials now. You might want to take a look at your notebook. Now keep it like that. Keep it like that. Alea, open the switch. We on the right path. Were you able to control the magnet?
I don't have to change who I am to teach.
Excellent job. Make sure these washers in the same spot.
I feel like I'm a trailblazer, and I feel like that's what they see when they look at me.
We know that dinosaurs lived on the earth
65 million years ago.
So English, when I got to high school, was like, it was always a rough patch for me. I remember getting corrected on so many times where when I used to say finna, I'm finna go do this. They'd be like, wait, what? What? You finna do what? And I'm finna go over here and do my work. I'm finna go over here and read this book. And they'd be like, you're about to go over here. You're going to go do this.
What is the source of energy that we use? Miss Bryant.
Electric current.
Electric current is correct. And it might look different. It might sound different than the way white Americans speak, but that's okay.
and you should feel comfortable who you are. And, you know, when you come into our classroom, when you come into Lucy Laney, when you come into Mr. Davis' classroom, I accept you for everything that you bring.
So I just want to remind you, the state of Minnesota has the largest achievement gap between white and black children in the entire United States of America. Parents of color are looking for a school that will validate and affirm their children's culture, that will not make them feel like foreigners in a foreign land from the second they walk into the doors.
I'm not anticipating no one being able.
I would imagine that there may be some comments that are like, yeah, teach those kids how to speak English, right? Okay. I can receive that. I can accept that. That is what we're trying to do. But we're doing it in a very honoring way and loving way.
It was a habit when I said ask instead of ask. I would be like, Dad, can I ask you a question? We had a conversation about that the other day. Like, you're going to ask me to death with an axe?
Play with play.
When you write in your essay that she asked him to the dance, I'm going to help you transfer that and translate that into academic English, similar to what we do with our English language learners.
That's an adjective. And this is a book that's been really I kind of happened upon this realization. I'm sitting up there in front of 7-year-olds, and I'm reading these books with Black vernacular, and I'm just feeling like I'm clumsy and stumbling and really uncomfortable. As we settled into really what I'm asking them to do every day when they come into my room is to really put themselves in that same place of discomfort that I felt.
Call, wash. Car wash.
But to just honor their language and like to not correct it or that and to let it be. Yeah, so you can put that. Yep. Can you start your sentence with a capital?
This is an important conversation for all educators. Language is how children communicate the mastery of their concepts. It shouldn't be how they communicate their mastery. It should be whether they've mastered or not.
It is. So I already see an.
That's a good job. Don't think that's wrong. Be loud, proud, and confident in your answer. You do a good work.
Thanks.
I refuse to be living in an educational reality that is going to, as the children walk in the door, go ignorant, stupid, uneducated. I will not do that. As they come in this door, they are going to be validated from their head to their toes.
I was so afraid of my son being labeled because it's a blessing and a curse to have a Black male son in these days. You got families now that want to come into Laney, whereas years ago they wanted to get out of Laney. So now everybody's like, I want Laney, I want Laney, I want Laney.
Lucy Laney is now celebrating 3 consecutive years of gaining on the state's standardized tests.
We've got the best kids in all of the land. But our data this year is actually showing, we're finally showing the larger world what we at Laney already knew.
First student is Darius King. Here you are, Darius. Come on up. Congratulations, Mariana.
Look at us now, we're smart. Like, we're very smart. Like, I passed my MCA test. I got a higher grade, a lot. And just a lot of people just still denying us, saying that we're not smart as they are.
I learned that I could write a whole page even though I think I can't. I just write it, and by the end of the class, I write a whole page, and I didn't even know it. I'm so happy! I grew at reading because at my old school, I was at a level E, and then I took my reading test like a couple of weeks ago, and I got to a level N.
This one? Yeah.
Yep. How many yellows, LaShawn? 5. So what do you need to color?
Here.
Yes. Perfect.
The way he changed when you came in, it was like night and day. And I know it's not easy, but please don't give up. Please don't. We need you. Okay, Ron-Shine? Okay, all right. And we need you. You've been a whole different child since your daddy's been taking care of you. A whole different child. All right, we're proud of you.
It was a lot of work, but we It was a lot of work, but we discovered that school was a safe place. School was a fun place. People at school love you. People at school will work hard for you. Right, you ready to show me another way? So we use 2 browns and 4 browns, and erase that one. That's why you got erasers. Sometimes we make mistakes, but that's part of learning. LaShawn, you can go put a stamp on that next word.
Sophia is someone that will have to be watched really closely. You know, her bucket, her well is really deep, and it's gonna require a lot to fill it up. And so my desire and prayer for Sophia is always that she will find that core within herself, that inner core within herself that will always kind of hold her, like root her, so that the wind may blow and, you know, she may shape shift a little bit, but that she always kind of knows who she is and is able to stand strong on that.
She's missed my 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th birthday. And when I turned 12, 5. I'm hoping I get to the point where I can see my mom for my 12th birthday. She does send me birthday cards though, and I love them. So
she kept that calendar and she'd mark off the days until her mom would be released from prison. I tried to remind her gently once in a while that, you know, you're not going to be able to be with your mom even then. I just want somebody to love them like I did.
You can always find light in the darkest places. Like in Pandora's box. You may have a release of evil around you, but there's always that little spark of hope. Your bright light. Your beacon.
Thirty-four 31 Hannon Avenue North, multiple shots.
45 were in the area of the shots.
Call a witness from Lucy Laney School heard 3 or 4 shots.
I mean, we had a shooting right across the street. And it's like, how does that happen?
Good afternoon, Laney families. This is Ms.
I hate doing the robocall. I hate it.
There were gunshots heard between 34th and 35th.
So I've got to make this robocall on a Friday afternoon to reaffirm everybody's worst nightmares. Shots fired during the school day while children are outside.
Do this.
I'm going to be alarmed because this is alarming. Well, then when you do that, then you also run a secondary risk of reaffirming negative stereotypes about your community. That's the North Side. That's Black people for you. That's poor people for you. They can't have anything nice, and all these things that abdicate us as a society of any mutual responsibility, and very easily slide it right over to the people that just live in that pocket. So what I do is I get back on the announcements and then brace myself for the robocall.
Sounds like it was between 3 to 5. You lock all the external doors and
Pick up the phone. I say, "Good afternoon, Laney families. This is Mrs. Friesleben,
principal,
formerly known as Miss Melander, calling to let you know we went on a code yellow today. There were shots fired next to the school. We did have some students outside. We reacted quickly. Blah, 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 blah. Please know that I take the safety of your children very seriously. I'll do whatever I can to keep them safe." And once it went through, wait for the office phones to ring and the buzzers to buzz for parents to come up and pick their children up early.
Hallelujah, God. I pray that you would help me, God, not to worry about things that you don't worry about. I thank you for Lucy Laney, God. I thank you for the ground that that school sits on. Amen.
And the crushing, and the pressing, you are making new heart. And the soil
What must it be like? Like, I look at white people all the time and I think, and like in the coffee shop, you know, like, and I know that I'm projecting probably something that's not true, but they're so carefree. Their children just run around the coffee shop and bang their cups on the table and spill, and they're just they're so free. They seem so comfortable. It's like they just know, like, this world is mine. And I get jealous sometimes. They seem so happy. Good morning, Pierre. Have a good day at school. Have a good day at school. It's one of my old kids. But then I get here and I look at this building and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. All these people pulling in at the same time. It's like we have mission possible. For some of you that have been here so long, I'm not sure you ever thought you would see this day. I'm not sure I ever thought I would see it. Just always felt like an impossible uphill battle that we would never be able to accomplish. My phone rang and it was our new associate superintendent. We haven't even worked with him yet. He said, Mari, congratulations are in order. I said, shut up, which I probably should have said to my new boss. But I said, shut up. And he said, no, he said, all those years of hard work have paid off. And I just said, like, are you sure? Is this real? And he was like, it's real. And then I think I screamed. And
You probably screamed.
I'm sure I screamed. And then I got off the phone with him. And then I called Lisa, just because, like, this is just, this was just not accomplished alone. And I said, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. I said, Lisa, this is everything we've ever prayed for. We're off the list.
Are you serious? Say that again.
talking about a group of kids that are trying. These kids are trying. I used to ask them the same question every year. Show me a school that has done this. Show me a school that looks like mine that has done this. Because I'm so convinced that the tool itself, the process itself, the practice itself is so just slated against us that it just always felt like an impossible uphill battle that we would never be able to accomplish.
I've never been a principal that doesn't have to send that letter, ever. I don't know what it feels like to be a principal that doesn't have to send that letter to their parents with my name at the bottom. And so this year, and hopefully many years to come, I don't have to sign and send that letter.
Like, this moment is not a shock to me. Talk to other teachers and they got nothing but positive things to say to Lucy Laney.
You wanted to make a difference in our children's lives, and you've done that. You've made this happen, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
Thank you. We've done it.
We've done
it.
Back to the bone. Woo, woo.
Good morning, Laney family. This is Mrs. Friesleben with your morning announcements. Today is Friday, June 8th. It is the last day of school. It's a happy, sad day for me, and I'm sure I speak for many of you students and staff as well.
I feel like I've grown more into a man. Like, instead of being childish with everything, I've learned how to... I'm not sure how to explain it, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. It feels like I'm leaving the world behind. It's like we're moving to another town. And we are used to this town. We're used to this town, not no other town.
Before I came here, I was like angry a lot. I had a lot of anger in me. But the school changed me by I could feel that I'm at home while I'm here. You always want to be here no matter what, if something bad is going on.
Thank you for all the love and the passion and caring for me like I was your own child. Just constantly never giving up on me and loving on me.
And will you commit to seeing them all the way through college? If so, say we will. Moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, aunties and uncles, cousins and friends, the 2018 kindergarten class of Lucy Laney.
We got this feeling inside our hearts. From kindergarten to 5th grade, we got our start. We made new teachers, we made new friends. We're moving up to middle school, it's not the end. We showing some kindness, with some buckets, got some knowledge in our heads.
I want to show that in this little school that no one would have ever believed could be successful with just heart and rolling up our sleeves and doing the hard work. And I feel that if we can show the world that it can be done here, then we can change the world because someone else
down the street will say, then it can be done here. And someone else across the river can say, and it can be done here. And someone in Milwaukee can say, and it can be done here. And it'll just spread. Go. Go. I love you. Go get on your bus. I wish I wouldn't have got so excited. I wish I would have just been like, great. Because then to find out that it was a mistake. The superintendent came and he said he needed to talk with me about our designation. He said that there had been a clerical error.
I take responsibility as superintendent for this error, and I want to apologize to the staff, students, the community that we weren't able to provide the necessary information the state needed to do the calculation. These designations, whether we want to agree with them or not, they have an impact on schools.
What do we do? What do we do now? The staff cannot, these teachers cannot hear this.
Leave the light up, like you're making a difference, and then to take it away. After we told the children. After the kids, now you have to tell the babies, like, oh, just kidding. We didn't make all of that growth. It breaks my heart. And it's not our fault. We've done nothing wrong at all.
One of my teachers raised her hand and said to the superintendent, do we have to send that letter home now? And he said, you do.
What there's going to be is this mistake, and we're back on this stupid list, and it's this whole, and we're not focusing. We know the growth that we made.
We do operate in a society that says that you have to fit into this box. And if you fit into this box, then you are making it, you are doing it. And if you don't, then you're failing. It's hard to know that we do this to children at such a young age. It's been our challenge and our honor and our privilege to love on every child as they've come into the doors of this school, regardless of how they take a test, regardless. If we continue
will be off the list. Everyone has to decide at different times or moments in their personal and professional life if this adversity is going to define you. And what I would hope that people would see about the school, I would hope that people would see about me, is that I've not let adversity define me before, and I won't let it define me now.
Sometimes we all have to fight the battle of that horrible thing that lurks behind hope. Disappointment, anger, frustration, sadness. We all have to deal with it, but it does get better. That's what hope's there for. You just gotta hope. What you guys saying? I don't know. Is the camera rolling? My name is Mariana.
Now, if you could just look at me like we're talking like regular in class and don't.
Mom, if you see this, love you. I can't believe I'm on the news. If you can't find a school for your kids, bring them to Lucy Lane. That's all I got.
I love it.
She is nice because she tells us if you have indoor visas or outdoor visas, and we have done.
Anything else you wanted to tell me about Lucy Laney?
No, thank you.
Everybody's so nice. Like, I hope you come here, whoever's watching.
Nice work, give me 5.
We hope you enjoyed Love Them First, Lessons from Lucy Laney. We want you to get to know the incredible people involved in this documentary. So in the next half hour, we're going to take you behind the scenes of the film, discuss the future of Lucy Laney, and let you know how you can help. First, we start with the woman who is the heart and soul of this film, Mari Friesleben. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to say thank you, too, for being brave enough to allow our cameras into that school and into your life in such an intimate, all-consuming way. That was an act of bravery. Why did you decide to do it?
Well, first, let me say I'm glad it's over, but I believe that it was worth the cost. To be honest, I prayed about it. I just felt something in my spirit tugging me, like this might be okay. I'm always very sensitive to people using our schools or our students as some sort of entertainment or even to exploit us, them, our realities. And I never got that sense from Ben or Lindsay when they approached me with this idea.
It's been seen in 35 cities, and you are getting feedback from all over the country. What are the educators around the country saying to you and asking you?
I've heard from current school administrators across the country who have said thank you for being willing to let the world in and see what we do every day. I've heard from people who aren't in education who have said my heart has been softened in a way that nothing else could have softened it.
I think when people watch this, they just wanted to reach out and hug you and just say, how do you do it? And I know you've been present at a few of the screenings. What's your reaction been?
I don't feel worthy. I found a place in my faith and in my heart that somehow, some way, something good would come out of who I am and what I've been through. And I knew that that good was in education and was working with children.
The mantra obviously is love them first, and it's a beautiful mantra. And you have some kids in that school that we saw in the film who it just seems like that would be easy to do all day long, every day. And then you have other kids that are part of the film as well who I wonder, how do you walk back into that classroom and treat that child the same way you're treating other children after the way they behave?
Well, I think a couple things. One, I didn't like the title of the film at first. I was like, Ben, Lindsay, I don't like that. Love them first? Like, ew. That makes it seem like we're all just having this big hug fest and, holding hands. But they both said, like, Mari, you say that, though. Like, we have you on camera. you say that. So I was like, okay, I guess I can't argue with that. It's the type of love that maybe people get confused about. So it's the type of love that says, I believe in you. It's the type of love that says, you don't have to be like this. Not the love that's like, I just want to hug you. But the love that's like, you're going to be better. And I'm going to stand here until you get better. I'm not going anywhere. That's how much I love you. I'm not going out to buses. I'm not going to go to I'm going to stand here and wait for you to do better and be better because I love you. For lunch, you have to sit on the bench. Okay. Do your consequences, and it'll be all done and over with.
One thing that's so beautiful about the film is getting to know all these kids in a more personal way. Mm-hmm. And a child that sticks out for sure is Sophia. Mm-hmm. And I think people are curious about her circumstances and how she's doing now, and they're worried about her, and she kind of stole our hearts, but also her situation breaks our hearts. Mm-hmm. So can you give us an update on how she's doing?
Mm-hmm. So yes, and I would also say there are a lot of Sophias, and I think that we would be an amazing group of people if we took that into consideration more often. As far as Sophia is concerned, she is in 7th grade now. I just saw her actually a few days ago. Super fun. She is growing up a little bit. Her and her brothers are in the process of some good, healthy, optimistic adoption conversations with family.
But right now they're still with great grandma.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Thanks so much for opening up even more with us. We appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk more with Mari coming up in a little bit. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, Ben Garvin and Lindsay Sievert, the team behind this incredible film, will join us to discuss how it began and the change they hope this documentary will bring.
It's good that there's people that care and want to help these kids out and make their lives better. So
nobody wanted to leave the theater, and I've never sat in a movie theater. People want to get out of the theater, and this was like, no, we want to be a part of this. We want to be a part of this film. We want to be a part of the school. We want to be a part of this movement. Is what it feels like. It feels like this extraordinary fulfillment of what we've all been wanting education to be for a long time.
Well, welcome back to our conversation about the documentary Love Them First, a year in the life of Lucy Laney Elementary School in North Minneapolis. Joining me now are the filmmakers, Lindsay Sievert, a reporter from KARE 11, and Ben Garvin, a photojournalist for KARE 11. And I just want to start by saying, well done. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of this documentary and impressed at how beautifully it was put together. We got a little bit of reaction there from people who had seen the film. You have been to countless screenings at this point. Let's start with you. What's the reaction you're getting to the film?
Yeah, we've probably had about 2 dozen screenings in the Twin Cities now across the country. And I think that the biggest reaction that we see is this call to action, people to say, what can we do? How can we help? So I think that's the number one reaction we get.
Yeah, people are moved in a way that we always felt moved when we were editing, in the editing room. I know Lindsay and I both cried, and I still cry when I see the film.
I think we've struck something universal, which is children belonging to all of us, and not just those children at that school and that neighborhood, and striking that thread within all of us that we all were a child once. We all wanted to be loved, which is a beautiful
put out there into the universe and into the world. Can you explain how this came to be and how the whole idea of a story and a hyper focus on this one school came to be?
Lindsay and I both had met Mark. We both her power and her honesty with children. I remember once I was there on the aftermath of a shooting in North. I was in school and I got on the. It was just so honest and so direct.
We are going to spend this day full of thankfulness and overflowing peace, calm, and love, even in the midst of the non-peace, the non-calm, and the non-love that's happening in the streets around us.
I met Mari and Lisa and all the students when there was a 2-year-old boy shot in a drive-by shooting on the corner of the school.
One thing that I've learned is that you can't ignore it and you can't start to act like it's normal.
And so it was this sort of dark day, but I had witnessed this beacon of light that Lucy Laney had worked so long to create.
Opportunity to grieve in order for healing to occur.
We met in front of the entire staff. Mark had us there and just said, "What do you want to do?" And we had to talk to the entire staff and tell them what was on our heart, and said that that I have reason to be skeptical of us, and that's fair. Give us a chance.
So much by watching this film about things I thought I was educated in. I'm just wondering what you learned in this process.
So I believe that this shattered my own assumptions of what and where can you get a good education. We are both Minneapolis public school parents. We both have kids in the district, and I think that I didn't know the beauty was going to unfold when we walked in the door.
I remind myself that the world measures Lucy Laney as a also, and it's measured as a quote failing school. If there's one thing I hope changes, and one conversation I hope comes from the film, is how can we rethink the way we measure Earth, and is it right and is it fair to do it with one test on one? I don't know. I hope we think about that as a society.
I think one of the most powerful things about the film is how well you showcase individual children in that room with that black screen behind them.
One thing I realized early on is that I wanted to listen. And so just get my cameras physically down lower, so you're down the size of a child, and just giving them a free rein to just say on their mind. I'm really the space to promote or to
Ever since I've been here, I've never had a day where I just wanted to come back. I've always loved this school.
When I was writing, I was afraid to be a vessel, that I could be a vessel for their voices, and the story could walk through me with most authenticity as possible. So this really was the product of several stories that aired during our newscasts, and it's really unprecedented for something like that to happen at a TV station.
What an extraordinary gift of time that 11 would have this and prioritize that kind of storytelling. And for Tegna, our corporate, to fund documentary.
You had never done a documentary before?
Never. We just found a story that deserves that type of storytelling. And I feel like the documentary sort of gives their story its sacred space. And, you know, our process, we learned as we went along. I mean, I sat for a summer and went through 150 hours of footage, but of course, we had surprises along the way. One of the surprises was the school, you know, getting on and off.
Remember you guys in the newsroom saying, I can't believe it.
So heartbreaking. And we care about the people and how devastating that would be. But a gift it was to be not the issue of us and the issue of how do we measure child.
Unfortunately, that moment of sorrow hopefully maybe can improve education for all children. That would be my dream.
I feel like this came at the exact perfect time. There's so much anger and betrayal, and we feel so divided, and all of a sudden this film comes and it's just this beautiful glimpse and understanding into somebody else's life. I just feel the perfect moment for it. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Please enjoy a bonus scene in the series titled Lucy Laney Prom.
Welcome to prom. You guys look so beautiful. Oh,
we've been planning like a year now, and so the day is finally here, and it's all decorated, and I'm just excited to see everybody.
Very first, so pretty. There are social constructs that have stripped a lot of our kids in Minneapolis of their innocence. So one thing I think we're really good at is allowing them to be in a place where they can just be children and adorable. Right there. You look absolutely stunning. You look like you should be on a runway somewhere. You look like you should be a model. Man.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3. Oh, you don't want to leave school? I like school.
And I'm going to come to school tomorrow.
Okay, see you next time.
I love school.
If we stay for the children, Lucy Laney, we stay for period. If we want to fight these children out, we fight children no matter the color of their skin. No child should feel locked into a box that they can't fight their way out of. It is our job as grown-ups to find and open them up and open the box and say, fly, breathe, live. You will not be confined to a box, not under my eye.
Welcome back. We are joined once again by Mark Friesleben and her colleague from Lucy Laney, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Lisa, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
What a powerful way to start the segment with those words. I think that's one of the prevailing messages of the film is we're putting kids in boxes with these test scores in particular. So I'm curious to know from you, if test scores are not the answer, how do we evaluate how students are doing in school?
I would say that it's that they're not the only answer. And I do believe that this permeates race. This is about culture and economic status. I mean, I would venture to say that almost any of us could find someone in our circle who just didn't perform well in school. That prototype, you know, let's use weight as an example. A lot of us will use what the to judge our health. That's not the only measure. Mm-hmm. No doctor, no good doctor would only use your weight to say whether you're healthy or unhealthy. They would also want to check your blood pressure. You know, you could have a temperature of 105 and have a great weight. You're not healthy. You need attention. And so I see the parallels with that. With education today. One measure, but there's so much more to telling if our kids are doing okay.
And when you talk about systemic change, what changes specifically that you would see?
Taking a look at the standardized assessment itself, which has been proven many times over to be, it's able to be filtered. I remember one year they compared two questions after the test. One of the questions was, Lisa makes this amount of money per week, what's her annual income? And the other question was, what's her yearly income? And just that one change had a significant increase in children that were not white, were not middle or upper class, and were not native English speakers on being able to give the correct answer. And it wasn't testing their language, it was testing their math skills. So there are a plethora of ways that we could shift this and make it a measuring stick that's a little bit more reliable, and we've chosen not to year after year. So I would love to take a hard look at that.
This is my 13th year.
Oh, 13 years. How long have you two worked together?
10 years.
10 years. Okay. What do you think the result will be of this film?
Calls have started to come. People have started to visit a little bit already. What we want to see happen is not donation of school supplies or even hand sanitizer, which is a really commodity in schools. Every school needs hand sanitizer, but we want to see this change come out of the documentary. Not Lucy Laney. We're just the only one that Ben and Lindsay follow us around for a year. And so I hope that as educators see this, they see themselves. And then as others see this, they say, oh, that's what really happens in schools? Let me call my elected official. Let me open my mouth at the dinner table. Let me influence what's happening in my circle, wherever that happens to be.
This film for me was incredibly eye-opening, and I know so many other people are having that same reaction. Let's listen to some reaction from people who've recently seen
white families who don't have to care. I can see it in myself and how sit in judgment of people who are different than us. And to me, that was the one big takeaway.
I have to say that, right? So opening eyes, people are starting to understand and have conversations about what they're seeing in this film. And it was a brave thing they did, letting these cameras in. Appreciate it.
That was Mari.
And that. What do you hope is the takeaway that people have from this documentary?
I hope that it's layered. I hope that it softens some of the hard edges. A lot of us have hard edges right now. And people bump into each other. And I hope that some of those edges are softened. And instead of hurting people when we bump into each other,